Know It All Nation, what is popping? You are here with your usual suspects. I am live and direct, and I got my partners with me, Big G and Take Boy Fresh. Big G, man, what's popping, man? How you do today?
Man, I got so many signs jumping off over here, man. I don't know what to do anymore, man. Look at this pile, man. This is just one pile of signs. Look at this. If I can pick them all up. This is just one pile. Look at all these dang signs.
I mean, you gotta have.
It's going bananas over here, man.
We're gonna have to get you some type of filing system for your signs, man. You can just pull them out. They're just sitting out there on it, man. What's up to the chat that's there? Everybody in the live chat that's already getting it in. Miss Lorraine Pitts, Afton, B Dirt. What's good? What's good? We
Lorraine in the thing. Lorraine, what's up, man? Lorraine.
Yeah. Tate, what's popping, man? Tate Boy Fresh, what's good?
Fine.
I ain't say nothing. I'm looking to hit mute. Hey, Big G, man, don't make me come to the crib, man, and straight put hands on you, man.
Dog, I'm just gonna hit you with this
one. I'm not George Pickens, bro.
Wow.
You lock me in the room with you. You ain't coming out.
I got one of these. One of these.
Hey, not too much, ma. Just was cooking dinner for my mom and my wife. I made some spaghetti, so. When you hit me up like it's time to go, I literally was just finishing up looking at the Tampa game. Baker going Baker, right?
Baker going
always.
Baker. He's going always. Baker. But you know what? You said Detroit against everybody. It's that time, man. It's that time. But we're going to get into it, though, man. First and foremost, you know how we do, man. Please, please, please make sure that you smash that like button. Like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube and Twitch so that when we go live, you'll definitely get those notifications. And tell everybody that we here and the KnoItAllz are in progress. Man, look, we got a great show. I'm ready to get it cracking. But before we do, let's do this. First of all, I would really like to say, because there's some things that we need to discuss. He got the homie flag up backwards.
Upside down.
Up backwards. But there's some things that I need to say, man. We are all cultured.
And he got fun.
We're all cultured men on this show. We definitely know how to do more than just talk, you know.
Yeah.
I think all three of us know how to cook. So I think that's something
that is facts.
That
is facts.
We can kind of stick our chest out about we all can go hard in the cook.
We ain't all culture, man. We all big dudes, man. Now tell it what it really is, man.
Hey man, dudes like to eat, bro.
Well,
as I say, my try to put it on culture. You just like to eat, so you gotta know how to cook when you like to eat.
That's not what that was. See, my grandmother told me, she said, "Maud, you're a handsome young man, but at some point, you may be by yourself. You need to learn how to survive." And she taught me how to cook. She pulled me in the kitchen at a young age, taught me how to cook. That's why I learned how. Yeah, that's how I learned how to go.
She taught you how to cook and made up to you for lying to you.
Well, no, she lied to me.
She was a good-looking young man. She
didn't lie.
She was trying to make you feel good.
No. She told a real story about that, Tate. She told a real story about that. But look, I wouldn't expect you to say I look good. If you did, there might be a problem. Anyway, like I'm saying, we're gonna get to
you might get that comment from your brother. He go both ways.
Oh wow.
You know what? He keeps saying that over and over again, but he's been doing it on every platform.
But Big G, what did I say? What I said is I'm gonna give you a double salute. You said I go both ways. That's what you said.
Nah.
I'm gonna give you a double salute.
I want to see the clip.
I go both ways.
I want to see the clip. I want to see the clip. I don't know about all
that. So we're going to get past it. Timothy Lyons said, I could cook. And Afton said, cooking is one of my favorite things ever. That's good, Afton. I
Ooh,
like that. I
Afton.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
We might have to all get together and get you to make a KnoItAllz meal.
I'm telling you something. I'm a little different. Like, you know, potlucks at jobs and stuff. I can't eat out of everybody's kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Because realistically, I need to know you clean. I need to know you wash your hands. You don't have your dogs and your cats sitting on the cooking spaces. It's me. It's me. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy because I grew up with roaches. So I mean, but
Wow.
I've learned to be different. You know what I'm saying? Over my older age. You know what I'm saying? I don't really trust everybody's kitchen. I don't trust everybody. But maybe it's because I worked in a call center. And working in a call center is one of the nastiest places ever in life. If you've never worked in a call center, you wouldn't understand my statement. But call center working gets real nasty, for real. But man, let's get to it, dog. I mean, we've had some recent developments here and definitely had some really, really good games. Yesterday, the Ravens versus the Texans, 34-10. 34-10. The dream season for CJ Stroud has ended. Definitely we think the coach of the year is going to be DeMarco Ryans. I think he did a really, really good job. I think, Baltimore was just too much, man. Baltimore was too much. Talk to me about this game, Big G.
Well, the issue is you better catch Stroud early because TJ Stroud is him. He's him. And the issue is they're so young, they just don't know any better. And it's obvious that in the game, they ran out of gas because they don't have the weapons on the outside to be able to put Baltimore in situations where they couldn't, had to press to stop them. Stroud, with another year under his belt next season and with a whole bunch of weapons, because I think they're going to load up in the draft and in free agency, it's going to be something to reckon with. But hats off to the Baltimore Ravens. In our division, we got to give them their props. In our division and in our conference, they're going to look like they're going to be hard to beat.
I've been waving that Baltimore flag for a while now.
Facts.
But let me say this before we get to Tate, because I know Tate got some really good insight. Let me say this, bro. There's two, and it's been disproven, two things about what they're seeing in the NFL right now. It's being disproven. Number one, running backs aren't important. We're going to get to that here in a minute. The second thing is what they've been saying is linebackers are important. Linebacker play isn't important. But I'm going to tell you, linebacker play is all that, and running back is important. Baltimore's linebacking crew were exceptional and have been exceptional throughout the playoffs. Patrick Queen, Roschon, what's his name? Is it Roschon Smith? I think it is.
Roquan.
Roquan. Hey, just name a name, a regular name, man. You know what I'm saying? Roquan. All right.
He's a monster.
Yeah,
he's him.
Monsters.
That's what you need
Patrick
to know.
Queen and Smith are monsters. So it's disproving this theory where you don't have to have good linebacker play in the NFL anymore. Tell me what you think about this Baltimore game and how you think Baltimore looked.
Well, to your comment about running backs and linebackers, I think you need them, and Baltimore has the best unit in the league, the best tandem in the league. But the train of thought is you don't need to draft them high because you're going by rotation with running backs and middle linebackers, unless you have Baltimore's middle linebacker. But Patrick Queen gonna be gone next year because he's gonna want bread, so he's gonna be gone next year. And running backs, most of them are by committees. You don't got too many just single man backfields getting the rock like 20, 25 times like they used to. You usually running back cut by committee. So they're important positions on the football field, but they're not important in regards to how high you draft them. I'd say the positions of least importance in the draft, like drafting high, is a guard, is a running back, is an inside linebacker in that order.
Well, if you look at Baltimore, if you look at Detroit, they kind of dispel that theory with their draft of Jahmyr Gibbs early in the first round, and
he's still running the committee. Montgomery got more yards than Gibbs.
I don't think today he did, but we'll talk about it.
No, I'm just saying over the course of the year.
Okay. Yeah.
And they drafted a running back and linebacker in the first round. So yeah, sometimes you can go against it, but I'm just saying the overriding theory among NFL teams and the positions that you're going to draft. To Baltimore looked good. They didn't give up. Houston got a punt return touchdown.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So Baltimore defense really only gave up 3 points. Lamar looked good.
Would it have been a different game? Would it have been a different game if you'd have had Tank Dell in there, you think?
Nah, he wasn't going to make that big a difference. He might have gotten to 17. He wasn't going to make no difference in the game, though. But yeah, they need a couple more. They need Tank Dell back. Big G, right? They're gonna draft some weapons. You know what I mean? So get another receiver in there, maybe 2. I think they like your boy from Dallas at tight end.
Dalton Schultz.
Yeah. I think they like him. But Lamar Jackson looked good. Baltimore looked good. I'm rooting for Baltimore next week, no matter who win this game. You know what I mean? So, I want to see Baltimore and Detroit in the Super Bowl myself. But Lamar looked good. CJ didn't have his best game, but, he's a rookie. He hit that wall playing in cold weather. He's from an indoor, a dome stadium. So I understand, but I will say he got one more win in the playoffs than Kenny Pickett and one less than Dak Prescott. So he's doing his thing as far as we're concerned.
Right. After said, I like the running back rotations over one-star guy, especially when you have 2 guys who are effective in different styles like Najee and Jalen. I can agree with that. She also said Baltimore peaked at the right time.
That was y'all problem, Ma. If I had been able to jump on that Cowboy podcast, I'd be like, y'all miss Zeke, man. Y'all thought Pollard could be that workhorse. He's not a workhorse back. And I think G said that earlier in the season.
Facts.
And you was going back to him averaging 6 yards a carry last year, this, that, other. It's a difference when you got to be that man and tote that rock.
Yeah, you got to have 2. You got to have 2 horses.
Go ahead.
You have to have 2 horses in today's NFL. Any team is going to be successful, unless the only exception to this, in my opinion, right now, is Christian McCaffrey. But Christian McCaffrey has a tendency to get hurt. But when you got a 2-headed monster in that backfield, and both of those guys can hit you at any time, at any moment, you are dangerous. And that's what you're seeing is left in the playoffs. What's left in the playoffs are teams that's got 2-headed monsters.
I don't think, and let me say this, Timothy. I don't think anybody made an excuse about CJ playing in a dome. He did play fair.
And it's not an excuse. CJ Stroud never played a game in Columbus in January. Never.
Facts.
He finished, the latest he ever played was the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Facts. And it's a lot colder in January than it is in November.
Facts.
Yeah.
And he's from California.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's what I wanted to say. B-Dirt took the words right out of my mouth. Christian McCaffrey does have Elijah Mitchell. And he comes in and he spells Christian, pretty often.
That's facts.
Yeah. So I'll say this, man. I think I agree with you guys wholeheartedly, without a shadow of a doubt. When it comes down to the Texans, they need about 2 more receivers and another. I mean, their safeties and cornerbacks are nice. I just think they need some help along the defensive line. They're going to be good. This is a team that's real young and is going to be good. And D'Amico Ryans, Coach of the Year. I mean, he took them 11-8. Nobody would have. I wouldn't have guessed the Houston Texans being 11-8. Not at all. There's no way I would have assumed that.
They lost Pierce at the very beginning of the season too. So now they have a 1-2 punch at running back. So Pierce and Singletary can hurt you. So like if they get Tank Dell healthy, they got Nico Collins. They're gonna get 1 or 2 other guys to help them, man. That you better catch him now. Because like I'm telling you, he's him. CJ has the potential to win the MVP next season. He's got the potential to do it. Definitely.
Yeah. Is it me, Tate, or is G phasing in and out?
I'm not phasing in and out.
No,
it's you.
I didn't hear G.
Yeah, it's you, bro.
I must be, because it seemed like you're fading in there. But I agree with you. When they get Dameon Pierce back, that running game is going to be a little bit better and more efficient. The one thing I will say here is, Lamar ran for 100 yards yesterday. He only passed for 152 and 2 touchdowns. And, he didn't get his tight end involved at all, and which is crazy, you know what I mean? Because normally you would see his tight end get more involved in the game, but you didn't see him get involved at all. Likely caught one, though, and he's one of his tight ends. But, really no passing yards to be shown from Lamar. And I will say this. If my homeboy gets there or if John, either team, the Bills or the Chiefs that get to play them, he's gonna have to show up in the passing game to beat. He's just gonna have to. He's not gonna beat him with 152 yards.
Houston's strategy was play covered. They never came. The only time they came out of cover one is when Lamar beat them. The majority of the game they played cover two. They played everything in front, and Lamar just saw wasn't nobody open. And he took off and run. And he just kept doing it and kept doing it and kept, which is a smart strategy by D'Amico Ryans because defensively, Houston has linebackers that can run. So that was a smart strategy. But the issue was you couldn't stop him. You have to make plays eventually in the quarterback run game to where you drop it for yards for loss and all the other things that go on as far as football. But it didn't work. And so I think that you're going to see either Kansas City or Buffalo do that same strategy against Lamar. We're going to play you cover two. You're going to have to drop the ball off in little small pockets and show that you can fit it in there, consistently for the game. So, that could be the kryptonite. But as of yesterday, Lamar was running the brake shoes off of that football, bro.
Yeah, he really was. He really was. Tate?
About Lamar?
Yeah. Do you think what I was saying? Do you think what I was saying is the truth? Is it gonna have to be where Lamar's gonna have to pass the ball to win?
Nah, because he get his runs off well-designed plays. I mean, they went for a 4th and 1. Everybody sucked into the middle. They thought they give it to the back. He rolled outside and ran for about 13 yards. So I think Todd Monken designs plays well where Lamar runs, and then when things break down, he just can get up and go and get 15 or 20 real quick. Where Jared Goff seen it open up like the Red Sea today. He ran, got 6 yards. That was his longest run of the season.
Yeah.
No, the second longest run. The longest was 11.
Second longest run of the season. Lamar gonna bust somebody's head, and whoever they play, San Francisco or Detroit, they just smashed both of them already this year. Not just win, smashed them both.
Facts.
Yeah,
that's total facts.
Definitely. So you got. Let's talk about that game. The Packers versus the 49ers, right? As a 24-21 game. Never would have expected this from the Green Bay Packers. They literally came alive late. You know what I mean? And they've been playing football, playoff football, for the last 3 to 4 games and almost stole one from the 49ers. Almost stole one from them. If their kicker wasn't on them, it didn't have a case of the dropsies and the pools, they would have definitely won this game. 24-21. Tell me about this game, G. Talk to me.
Well, the issue was, and I told Payday this on the Homies podcast and the Homies Overtime. I picked the 49ers to win, but I said this game's going to be a lot closer than what you think. Because the deal is that the 49ers, the Packers didn't know any better. They were so young as a team that you're like, man, we don't know that we're not supposed to beat the San Francisco 49ers. We don't know that we're not supposed to be in the game. I think they have the youngest roster in all of NFL. So just like the Houston Texans, the Green Bay Packers is a team that come next season, they're going to level up, man. They're going to level up defensively. They're going to level up offensively. And you're going to see a lot of things going on from their team, especially if they're able to get healthy and get a solid draft. They didn't have their 1-2 punch from the running back position because Dillon was hurt, so they couldn't go Jones and Dillon. But Green Bay definitely, man, is a team on the up and rise. And they had San Francisco dead to rights. But Christian McCaffrey, who's their best player, showed up. But the 49ers might have took an injury that might cost them because Debo might be cooked. It might be all over for Debo for the rest of the season. That's just my thoughts on the 49er-Packer game. Tay Boy Fresh, what you got cracking, man, about that game?
Man, I agree with the homie Jay Steve, man. Green Bay should have won. The kicker missed that kick. You know what I mean? I feel like there's some things at the end where they showed their inexperience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, they should have been able to bring that game home, I feel like. But no, San Francisco did what they had to do. Brock Purdy, I was looking for him to choke it up, but he didn't. So, San Francisco goes on. They were the favorite. They were supposed to win, but Green Bay letting you know. Green Bay, there go Josh Allen doing Josh Allen things.
Josh Allen doing Josh Allen things.
You just threw a pick.
Yeah.
But I think Houston and Green Bay, some teams to watch coming up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I think they're really young teams, and they're gonna get better. B-Dirt said Packers get better on the D-line. They're gonna be a problem. Absolutely.
That is total facts.
That
is total facts.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally believe that all the way around. Jordan Love had 21 for 194, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Brock Purdy, 23 and 39, 252, 1 touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, beast-like, 17 carries, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. And all he does is just get in the end zone. You can say whatever you want to say about Christian McCaffrey, but all he does is just get in the end zone, man. That's it.
I think the whatchamacallit was the biggest factor in the game, the coaching, man. I think Shanahan he had him, man. And he knew it. Shanahan never went away from his game plan. He kept running and he kept running. Even when Debo went out, because I was like, when Debo went out, I was like, oh, they're shook. But he stayed with the game plan. He kept running it, and he kept hitting them in that 1x2 in that 12 personnel, and they didn't know what was coming. And so by sticking with it, he out-coached LaFleur, in my opinion. I think Shanahan did.
Yeah, that looks like Dalvin Cook. I mean,
why you think Shanahan out-coached LaFleur?
Because I think that LaFleur, there was a couple of pressure points in the game where I think LaFleur, if he just would have stayed with the running game versus trying to put the ball in Jordan's hands, where Jordan didn't make big mistakes, but there was a few third down passes. And I was like, man, they was throwing the ball on first and second. I'm like, man, stick with Aaron Jones. You keep running the ball. But it might have been because they didn't have the 1-2 punch. That's what it could have been. But I just think that was the issue. I think that Shanahan had him.
I think LaFleur showed his coaching chops.
Because
Shanahan was favored by 10 points. They didn't get to that. Green Bay was in the game the whole game, and for a big part of it, they kind of controlled it.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say he outcoached him.
Yeah.
I mean, he had more horses. I mean, so he ended up winning. But no, he ain't outcoaching. I ain't seen Josh Allen throw an interception yet. What is you talking about? I thought I was behind maybe to what you was looking at.
I thought he threw a pick.
He ain't throw no pick. Josh Allen.
No, Josh Allen was running and threw a pass that he almost stepped over the
No, he did step over the line, but it was a backwards pass. That's why I said Josh Allen doing Josh Allen things.
Yeah, but
it was a lateral, but he threw it way across the field.
Way across the field. Across his body, which you're not supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But he did it and he's living to play another day. He
got the strongest arm in the league. There ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. He has the strongest arm.
Who got the second strongest?
My homeboy.
You probably right.
Yeah, I say Josh Allen won my homeboy too.
And I can get with that. I'm gonna tell you, watching Detroit, something came to mind, and I don't do this very often. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to prepare for this. You guys out there need to prepare. And I can find the receipt. G said at the very beginning of the year, Detroit is gonna be in it one of the last teams still in it. They roster's just that good. Now, there was a point during this year where I just, they got beat by people, and I was like, I didn't think when Detroit got beat by the Packers, I was like, yeah, it's over. The Cinderella story is over, But Dan Campbell is so scrappy, and he got these boys playing out of their mind. And Jared Goff, you better put some respect on Jared Goff's name. Put some respect on it because he's out here balling. You know what I'm saying? Tate Boy Fresh, talk to me, man. Tell me what you think about this game, man. Talk to me.
Man, the game today, Detroit and Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Right.
Detroit came. Tampa was better than I thought. Tampa was a 9-18. I really thought. I guess Detroit did end up covering, right? No, they won by 8. They supposed to favor by 9, so they didn't cover. But I like Detroit. They got a running game. They play tough. That back end though leaves something to be desired though.
Yeah, definitely.
They getting cooked. We said the other day. Big G told the big homie Shannon, man.
Shannon was talking about he want Cam Sutton back. No, heck no.
Cam Sutton was out there getting cooked.
Yeah.
Well,
he was getting cooked today. Mike Evans was cooking him today.
Mike Evans Mike Evans is 6'5", bro. Cam Sutton's 5'11". You have to know that, he's gonna win out on those things. B Dirt, your comment, Goff versus Goff is better than Dak.
Facts.
For his career, I would say yes. And I would co-sign that.
I wouldn't have said that 5 weeks ago.
No, I wouldn't have said it 5 weeks ago. But I'm saying it now for the career. When you look at it, Goff has been to the Super Bowl, right, with the Rams.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been to the Super Bowl with the Rams. He's got a winning pedigree. He's taking his team back again to the NFC championship game. Goff's better. You can't refute that. There's nothing you can say. They won that game today.
That might be true, but I think the bigger point to the better than is the fact that Dan Campbell is better than Mike McCartney, I think.
Oh yeah, great. And the NFL is moving to younger coaches. It's okay. So let me get to this. Before we get to and we start breaking down this Tampa Bay Detroit game, you need to understand at this point, just like talent is moving to the younger talent, coaching is moving to the younger coaching. You look at everybody that's having success offensively. These guys are coming from the Shanahan tree, and Kyle Shanahan is. I remember Kyle Shanahan in Texas here at playing wide receiver with Major Applewhite, the quarterback. He's not an old guy. So you're taking these 38, 32, 34-year-old coaches that have been in his tree, and these guys are scheming like they're playing Madden and scheming wide receivers open. The older coaches are they're scheming against the defense. That's the old way of coaching. You don't scheme against defenses no more. You scheme your wide receivers open. You put them in wide open spots. That's why you see the Packers. That's why you see Tampa Bay. That's why you see all of these wide receivers just wide slap open because they're scheming them open against not against the defense, but they're finding ways to make sure that these wide receivers are open. And the old school play calling can't do it anymore. So the younger coaches, to me, is where it's at. You're not gonna have a Belichick. You're not gonna keep getting those. You know what I'm saying? I think that the NFL is moving towards a younger coach.
Well, the issue is, in my opinion, is that the head coach, unless he's just a magnificent play caller, needs to move more of an administrative role and allow and bring in a defensive coordinator and an offensive coordinator that dictates the game planning. If the head coach is the administrator, it works. That's what's working right now in Detroit. Dan Campbell ain't calling no plays, offensively or defensively. Yeah. He's watching over what's going on. Now, Shanahan is an outstanding play caller, so he knows what to do. But I think for long-term success for any NFL team, Your defensive coordinator and your offensive coordinator have to run their rooms. They got to be the people that's making all the calls. And if not, and those people have to be younger. I do agree with that. But you can still have an older coach that's as the administrator over everything. That's just my opinion.
And I'll agree with that. B-Dirt said some of these new motions and route trees are flat out sexy. Absolutely. Just a deep dive, what you don't know. Kyle Shanahan and Major Applewhite would have some of the most competitive Madden games ever because they're both offensive minds and would go. I mean, it was lore on the Texas campus, and you heard about it on Texas radio where they would have epic matches where it would be like 40, 50 people in the room watching them go at it because they would just flat out scheme each other. And I just think when you have that type of a mindset offensively, you're going to be brilliant at some point. There's something to play in Madden. That's why, I'd always beat my brother's head in. I think I beat Tate maybe once or twice in Madden.
You wouldn't stop it. You wouldn't beat me like that. Stop that. You wouldn't beat me like that.
I beat your head.
Stop it. Stop that.
No
facts. No facts. No video tape. No record.
Can't neither one of y'all beat my brother though.
No, I can't beat Damon. I admit that.
It's been so long since I played Madden. But give me.
Yeah, I stopped playing in 2000. I stopped. It was taking too much of my time, man.
Yeah, it does. I got other stuff to do. But I whooped my nephews again last. I whooped my nephews again at the beginning of the school year this year. So I'm a little rusty, and it took me a quarters to get it together. But I was still beating them like a drum. At the end, they were getting 21-point rule. It just is what it is. Naturals on the sticks. But Detroit Lions, 31-23. They beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker had a game. 26 of 41, 349, 3 tutties, 2 interceptions. Jared Goff, 30 of 43, 287, 2 touchdowns. Rashad White was out there balling. Mike Evans, 8 catches for 147. And Ross St. Brown was balling too. 8 receptions, 77 yards, 1 touchdown. Tate, talk to me about this, man.
Fine.
No, I clicked mute. I double clicked it. That was an accident. I did. You see, I paused for a great answer.
Yeah,
But nah, man, Detroit. What's the question, man? You said, am I Ross St. Brown? What are you asking me?
No. Talk to me about the Detroit game. There's no question. Just tell me what you thought about the game.
Detroit did what I expected them to do, man. I mean, they gave up some in the pass game. Their run game was better with Montgomery and Gibbs. Laporta's a beast.
Yeah.
I mean, Aiden Hutchinson got his money. Put pressure on Baker. Yeah. I mean, so Detroit did what I expected them to do. And I think they're going to go out there and give San Francisco a game next week, for real.
For real.
Hey,
G, talk to me, man. How you feel about the game?
So this is going to be a hard statement, and this might be a burner, man, what I'm going to say. The Detroit Lions remind me so much of the Kansas City Chiefs before they let my homeboy loose. Like Kansas City had built a roster. They was ready to ride. They had Alex Smith at quarterback, and I'm not saying Alex Smith was a scrub. Alex Smith was a very good quarterback. But it's like they just needed that one dude to just get him over the hump. And they drafted my homeboy. They sat on him on a year. They went to 2 AFC championship games in a row, and they let my homeboy loose, and the rest is history. So the Detroit Lions, the way that they're constructed, is literally reminding me of that run of what we're currently in now with the Kansas City Chiefs. So Goff's going to have to show that he's the guy. Because if not, I think that they're one piece away from winning it. It could be that eccentric quarterback that just goes in there and just blows the doors off of everything. So I think they're close. I think they're going to give San Fran a run for their money. But they remind me so much of those Chiefs. When the Chiefs was building up, and I was like, man, it's just a matter of they're there. And they let they drafted my homeboy, and the rest is history. That's what Detroit reminds me of right now. So
they got their quarterback.
Yeah.
They got their quarterback in waiting.
From Tennessee, Lee Hooker.
So T-Take said, good evening, gentlemen. She yelled fine when you were talking and, definitely didn't hit your mute button. Bobby Compton said, I need some love from my Lions.
Facts.
Eddie Copeland said, Detroit got a chance against his San Francisco 49ers, and he agreed with you wholeheartedly, Big G.
He ain't no 49er fan. He a Steeler fan. He just on the bandwagon. Hey, man, put Eddie in the Matrix, man. Put him in the Matrix, dog.
You got to put
because you can't jump. Yeah, you can't bandwagon jump now, dog. You a Steeler, dog. Don't try it. You in the Matrix. You lost in the Matrix. But it's okay to cheer for other teams. But no, you a Steeler, dog. Come on now. Don't try.
It's Steeler through and through. So I'm gonna ask you guys a question. I'm just gonna play the advocate. Which is bigger, Baltimore in the Super Bowl or Detroit in the Super Bowl? Which one of those is like the bigger piece of news, right? Because I think everybody fully expect Baltimore to win, but at the same time, if they're playing Kansas City, you said it. You got to catch Mahomes early, right? So if you catch him in the division final game, he might beat you. So which one's a bigger surprise for you guys? If Detroit make the Super Bowl or the Ravens make the Super Bowl? I'll start with you, Tate.
It's definitely Detroit, man. They ain't never been to a Super Bowl.
Facts.
Baltimore Ravens only been around since about 97, 98, and they've been in like 3.
Facts.
But this year would be Detroit for you? It would. I mean, because I know it's a combination of all things, but I mean, Detroit is a really good team, so it would be Detroit.
Detroit is a really good team, but this year there's never been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Detroit.
They hadn't won a division in 30 years.
Yeah,
facts.
I mean, it's got to be Detroit.
Okay,
you know what I mean? And they both my cities, man. I love Detroit and Baltimore. My type of cities, man. You gotta be rough to be Detroit and Baltimore. And when I grew up, I was about an hour and a half from Detroit, and I'm about an hour from Baltimore right now. So I spent a lot of time in both places, and that's the Super Bowl I'm rooting for: Detroit and Baltimore.
Yeah,
like G.
Well, I would say Detroit for the simple fact is that a lot of people, Tate, I agree with every point you made, but a lot of people were saying that Dan Campbell's style of coaching would never work in the NFL. They were, this dude was talking about biting off kneecaps and, we're going to do this A, B, C, and D. And he's upfront in your face all the time. He reminds me a lot of the Parcells, but that makes sense because he comes from like that Parcell. He got coached by Parcells and all whatever else. So people were saying that style of football don't work anymore. But if you want to say a mean, tough, nasty team that's going to get after you in football that can pass and can run, Detroit. And I'm going to tell you something else. If Detroit makes it to the Super Bowl, their fan base is going to go ballistic. Like I'm telling you, like that is helping revive that city like you've never seen before. I mean, like if you ever saw a team just go bananas because their team made it to the Super Bowl, oh my God, Detroit's gonna be on fire. And don't let them win.
Yeah, the city.
If they win it, my God, yeah, it's gonna go nuts.
Yeah, the city.
So
the city will be wild for sure. For sure. Detroit. You say you grew up around there, man. Having gone to Detroit, it's wild. I went to Motown and I really saw how Motown was just this average place, but it like affected the whole planet. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just Motown is in a house. It's like in a house. It's a museum. It's not like it's really a big thing. And then I remember seeing that big body of water that separates Detroit and Canada, where slaves used to get over to go from there. Man, it's wild. Like Detroit is a place. There's a lot of abandoned real estate there, and I think to Sean's point, to G's point, seeing them actually win like that, will revitalize that city. It will.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the Pistons when they were winning it. You know, it'll take that city to a whole new place. Go ahead, Tate.
You talking about the music, and that's a huge part of Motown's a huge part of it. But man, we got to talk about the very family that owned Detroit, the Fords, the cars, the automobile manufacturers started right there in Detroit. That they do all over the world now. I mean, not the Ford, I'm saying, but they make cars and the manufacturers. They was biggest in Detroit, at its biggest in Detroit back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And then you talk about the Windsor Bridge is the bridge that go from Detroit over to Canada. That's the Windsor Bridge, and the body of water, the Detroit River off of Lake Michigan. I mean, and I spent a lot of time there because my stepdad was from Detroit. My mom remarried, and he used to come down to Lima one weekend. Next weekend we go. So every other weekend for 2 or 3 years, I was in Detroit every other weekend. I know about going to Belle Isle Park and Boblo Island and everybody's pizza, everything in Detroit, man. That's why I say Detroit over everybody, man. I like Detroit, probably like a third home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I did a concert on the river right there. They had this big amphitheater right there. I had to do a concert right there. It was packed. It was one of the nicest things I ever seen. But it was just thinking of what it meant. The city itself is in need of something like this, and I would love to see that happen for the Detroit Lions. That would be so dope to see them. Think about
how live Detroit was when the Pistons was the bad boys. Think about how live that was. I mean, like Detroit was like off the chain. It was full of crime and all that other stuff that we're talking about now. There was cultural stuff there that was good too. But now, 20-something, 30-something years later, and they can start over and hit a bad boy run. Oh, man, Detroit's going to go bananas. It's going to go bananas, man. I mean, and this is the thing. So many young people, this is what I found out, because I don't live but an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Detroit. There are so many young people that love the Lions. It is unbelievable. Like, I'm talking about 18 years and older, young fans. They starting out and they're like, man, I'm the Lions, dog. I don't know what you talking. They love the Lions and they love the Bengals. They with them franchises. So if they're able to be successful they have a 3 to 5 year run, oh man, it's on and popping. Detroit is going to plant their flag in the NFC and be like, you got to come through us to get to the bowl. That's what they're really trying to do right here. They're trying to join the ranks of the San Francisco 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Green Bay Packers, and say, look, if you want to make it to the Super Bowl, you got to get through us. They're trying to plant their flag. So I'm digging them, man. If I'm cheering for anybody, I'm cheering for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, got it. B-Dirt made a comment earlier I wanted to read. He said it's hard to play Madden and record 37 podcasts a week.
Total facts.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, B-Dirt. You talking truth. You talking truth. Man, so Belichick, Atlanta, how we feeling about this?
You want a percentage of whether or not it's going to go down?
Well, I mean, it's looking like it's about to go down. They expected to hire.
It's a 50-50.
They expected to hire.
It's a 50-50. Harbaugh got his second interview today. Harbaugh interviewed for the second time for the Atlanta Falcons today. So it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50.
So what do you think?
I think Harbaugh is going to the Chargers, and I think Belichick's probably going to go to the Falcons. But it could easily be flipped. It could be Belichick with the Chargers,
but do you like it? Do you like Belichick at the Falcons? Do you like it?
If they get Kirk Cousins, they're in contention in the NFC. If Belichick goes there and he brings Kirk Cousins with him as a free agent, a veteran quarterback, they're in contention for the NFC. They will win the NFC South next season. You can book it. You can book it right now today that they're going to win the NFC South. That's just my feeling. If they get Kirk Cousins or another veteran quarterback. Take what you think, bro.
I agree with you, man, 100%. I mean, I think Bill going to the Falcons. I think it really depends on who his old coordinator is.
Yeah.
I need to see that. But, I mean, yeah, they got the talent to win now. And if Kirk Cousins go there, because Kirk Cousins said, if I don't sign back with Minnesota, there's no way I wouldn't want to go play for Bill Belichick. He said that already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if he go to Atlanta and Kirk Cousins come there and he get a good OC, that's a wrap for the South, like you said.
Yeah.
So
lock it down.
And you like Belichick in Atlanta? That's a good fit to you?
Yeah, it's a good fit. I mean, they already got pieces. They got more talent than New England ever had. But still, they just got to figure out that quarterback situation. Desmond Ridder ain't the answer. But like I said, we said they get Belichick. We said they probably gonna get Cousins. So I like it.
Yeah.
So here's something I gotta respond to. He said, "How good is the Falcons' defense? They have talent on offense, and Cousins would help them, but I'm not sure about the D." Let me tell you something. Bill Belichick and his scheme has won with nobody. A lot.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? A lot. You know, he would his big name free agents, he would let them go and plug somebody else in. So the man know how to run and run defenses. So, you know, I wouldn't be that concerned or scared about that. But let me ask the next question. Harbaugh with the Chargers, does he move the needle?
Well, so now this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that the Chargers were ready to hire Jim Harbaugh, but they violated the Rooney Rule and did not bring in 2 minority coaches for interviews. So they had to back off of Harbaugh, bring those coaches in to interview, and now they're saying that Harbaugh's the lead man for the house. Everything that I've heard about what Harbaugh doing is he's going to start over offensively. So like he's talking about cleaning house. So you might see a total revitalization even at the quarterback position in the Chargers.
No.
So because I'm telling you right now, I've heard that. You can ask B Dirt. Me and B Dirt just talked about it today. They're talking about. I'm telling you.
There go them hot ass takes.
I'm trying to tell you. Harbaugh could move off of Herbert. He could trade him. And it would make all the sense in the world because you could get so much draft capital for him. If you come in as the coach and there's no expectation, you draft your guy, McCarthy, JJ McCarthy, and then now you got draft capital all over the place to build up your team. I'm telling you, he said, you can say zero all you want to, Thomas. I'm telling you, it might go down like that. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So, Tate, what? How do you feel about Harbaugh being at the Chargers? Do you think he moves the needle?
Yeah, he moves the needle just because he's an organizer, he's a culture builder. You know what I mean? He gonna make them guys been soft for a lot of years, man.
Fact.
You know, you can go back to LaDainian Tomlinson. He was soft. He's a great player, Hall of Famer. He was soft, standing on the top sideline with his winter trench on, not playing, standing behind his shield on his helmet. You know, then you get these guys right here. The past couple of years under Brandon Staley, soft, didn't play really smart. I mean, and they got defensive pieces. Harbaugh can build that defense up quick. And you probably need to try and get off Keenan Allen and Mike Williams if you can and get younger playmakers. Eckler gone. But the one thing you got to build around on offense is your quarterback. Herbert ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and that me too. I feel like that I wouldn't see him going anywhere. I agree with Thomas that there's zero chance. There's zero chance of him actually moving and trading Herbert. I think those are the biggest moves that you can make. Those are the biggest moves that you can make in this offseason with the coaching. I like the Raiders sticking with their guy. I called it.
I said Antonio Pierce was going to stay there. I called it.
Yeah, I think he is the right man for that job. I think he's the right man for that job. I know, Tate, you don't really care for the Raiders, but what do you think about that hire?
Oh, I like the Antonio Pierce hire. I didn't dislike the Raiders like that. I can't root for him though because the dude that I deal with is always talking. You know what I mean? But the Raiders are one of the flagship franchises that the NFL is better when the Raiders is good, man. And I think and Antonio Pierce, the players wanted him. Sometimes you gotta listen to your players, man. The players wanted him. You know, he come in there, he bring that toughness, he bring that swagger. He come in driving this 6'4", bumping NWA. You know what I mean? The players relate to this dude, man.
Yeah. Definitely. What's up, Claude? Claude is in the house, man. Claude in the house.
He's not a huge X's and O guy. He don't have the experience, but he's that guy that's gonna get guys up ready to play. Now it's important he hired the right O coordinator. Sounds like he's looking at Cliff Kingsbury too. You know, and the defense, he can have a hand in that and just, you know, get the guys.
So let me ask you a question. Let's stop right there, man. Do we believe in Cliff as an offensive coordinator?
Tate do, because he want him in Pittsburgh. I don't want him, but Tate want him. I don't want him in Pittsburgh.
If y'all look at recent articles and stuff like that, Kingsbury is high up on a lot of people's list, man.
He is, but
I believe him as an offensive coordinator. I don't want him for no coach. I believe he can get quarterback ready to play, and he's a good play designer and probably play caller. That's modern.
Okay. Gavin Anthony said he does as well. He does as well. I mean, I would never hire him as a coach. An OC, I'm like 70-30, right? I'm 70-30 on him as a coach because, you know, on OC, because I believe you can get a lot out of him, and I believe that he could really get a lot out of an offense and a quarterback, and he can scheme some people open. You know what I mean? His offenses have always been wide open. It's just him as a coach, I don't really put much trust in.
Well, I'm not talking about a coach. I'm talking about OC.
Right. You're right.
I want Brian Greasy. I want Brian Greasy as the OC in Pittsburgh. Either him or Darrell Bevel. I'll take either one of them dudes. Those are both the quarterback coach in Miami or the quarterback coach in San Francisco. Give me either one of them as my OC in Pittsburgh.
Over Darrell Bevel, I'd rather Clint Kubiak.
I mean, but Kubiak's already a OC. He's not flipping from San Fran to Pittsburgh.
He's not an OC. He's a pass game coordinator.
Shoot, that boy might get a head coaching job.
And Brian Greasy's the quarterback's coach.
Right. Yeah. I just don't like. I don't like Kingsbury. That's just me. I don't like it. And I got to tell you something about Antonio Pierce too, bro. Don't be shocked if the Raiders go all in to get Caleb Williams. Don't be shocked, because there's a direct connection from Antonio Pierce's family to Caleb Williams' family. There's a direct connection. And don't be shocked. And that's where you might see Cliff Kingsbury end up as an OC. Kingsbury could be the OC in the Raiders, and then they go get Caleb Williams. Don't be shocked if that goes down like that, because that's where he wants to play anyway. He wants to stay in Vegas.
I mean, I can see it. I can see it, man. You know,
I'm telling you, that's facts, bro. I'm telling you. Antonio Pierce's family and Caleb Williams' family is tight.
So Brian Callahan's not moving, right?
As what, the OC in the Raiders?
As the Bengals.
No, he ain't going nowhere.
Brian Callahan, he's with the Bengals, right?
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he ain't moving. So, you know, anybody who ever takes Kellen Moore, I don't, you know, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, if Harbaugh goes up to the Chargers, there he's cooked. If Harbaugh comes in, Harbaugh's hiring his own staff. Everybody that's on the Chargers getting let go. Everybody.
Yeah. So where do we think Vrabel is going to end up?
Right there, buddy. right there, buddy. Either right here or he going into Seattle. But I'm telling you, I think, hey man, they building a monster in Ohio State. I ain't even I need a whole show just to talk about what's going on in Buckeye Nation right now. But right there, buddy. Right there, buddy. He coming home. Just have some patience. Or either there or Seattle.
Tate, where you think Vrabel's going to end up?
I don't know, man. They got to play out a little bit. I can see Vrabel being a head candidate for, like Gavin said, could be the Commanders, man.
Yeah.
They're going a new direction. That's the team I ain't really heard much about. Who there was a lot of talk about Belichick early, a lot of talk about trade Tomlin to them, but I ain't heard no real true coaching candidates going there yet. I can see Tomlin not Tomlin. I mean Vrabel just letting everything just be cool and let the cycle play through a little bit and him get hired there. I could see that.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. That would be that would be crazy if you saw that, if that happened. For real. Right now we got a score in the game, score update in the game, 10-3, Buffalo up, 10-3. Definitely they traded field goals off, and then Josh Allen just ran for a 5-yard touchdown run. Gee, I gotta hear this, man. I cannot let this show end, and we're about to end, but I can't let this show end without you, because you really got on your soapbox this week about Caleb Williams. I don't understand how you think Caleb Williams is not a top quarterback prospect in the NFL. I don't get it.
So I have went back, and this is not just me spitting. I went back and I have watched 7 full games from this season versus 3 full games from last season with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, in my opinion, went backwards. Caleb Williams is not the same kid he was 2 years ago. Some of that could be because he didn't have the offensive playmakers that he had from 2 years ago, but he definitely has red flags in his game. He holds the ball entirely too long. He thinks that he can out-scramble and improvise. And Caleb Williams is not going to run a 4.5 or 4.4 at the combine. Caleb Williams is going to run a 4.6. Those or more. Those windows are going to be short in the NFL. He's 6'1", 215. He ain't like C.J. Stroud that's 6'3", 6'4", 225, 230. Or Lamar Jackson is 6'3", 220 and got blazing speed. So there's a lot going on as far as Caleb. Now, in the right offensive system, being schemed, yeah, he should be the consensus number 1 overall pick because we're so quarterback friendly in the NFL, because the number 1 pick should be the number 1 pick. However, I just think that Caleb has got a lot of red flags right now, and I don't know if he's that guy. If I'm Chicago, I definitely don't take him. There's no way in the world, if I'm the Bears, do I take him. But, that's just me. That's just me. And like I said, the film don't lie. Men lie, women lie, even numbers some lie, but film don't. And I've seen it with my own eyes.
The eye in the sky is definitely there, but I'm going to tell you, B-Dirt said Caleb Williams has some leadership red flags. And but I will say that, and I will amen that. But I've watched the kid play from Oklahoma to USC, and all he do is get in there and win. All he do is get in there, and he doesn't play hero ball. He just makes and extends plays. He's big.
Where is he won? Where is he won? Where is he
won at Oklahoma. He didn't win the national championship, but he definitely won at Oklahoma. And then he won at USC, but he didn't have a defense.
No, at USC, he was a 3-loss winning the Heisman, and this year they lost 5. He's not won nowhere. He's not. No, that's a false narrative. He put up numbers, but he didn't win. He's not a winner, not like that. He put up numbers, but their offense was built to put up numbers. He had to put up numbers because they couldn't stay in games. But he's not like that. I'm telling y'all. I am telling y'all, bro. Like I said, I'm not saying he won't be a good pro. But when you start talking about number 1 guaranteed overall quarterback, like no ifs, ands, buts about it, he's the franchise. That's Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck. Heck, even in some conversations, Trevor Lawrence. Caleb Williams ain't that guy. He's not that guy. He's good, but he ain't that guy.
Tate, how you feel about Caleb Williams?
I was coming a bit down on him towards the end of the season because USC was struggling. But I don't think it was any fault of his own. That defense was just water, man.
Facts.
Defense was paper thin. But if Caleb Williams was able to come out last year, he'd have went before Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. I ain't saying it'd have been the right decision. He's better than Bryce Young. Definitely better than Bryce Young.
Facts. I agree with that. Facts. I agree.
When Bryce Young went number 1 last year.
That's because there was some bias going on with them Carolina Panthers. And I know they can. And you know what? That bias got everybody fired too, Tate.
Yeah.
The Carolina Panthers bias got the GM and the coach fired because the owner wanted them.
And then when we look, talking about Caleb Williams, he's the best prospect right now. When Peyton Manning came out, when Trevor Lawrence came out, when Andrew Luck came out, they was the best prospects then. They were all thought to be generational talents. Not Peyton Manning so much, because they almost was great pick Ryan Leaf over him.
Facts.
That was what, 96, 97 draft, one of them.
97 draft.
But yeah, man, I like Caleb Williams, and I understand Chicago picking him. I mean, because one, all the hype he getting about being the best prospect since the last 10 years, but also Chicago passed on CJ Stroud last year.
Yeah.
And Justin Fields is not their guy. Now you pass on Caleb Williams and he beat the man. Oh, that's a hot ticket out of town for Chicago's front office.
Hot ticket.
Ryan Poles, the GM.
Well, that's why they're going to trade the pick.
Hot ticket.
Well, no, I don't say trade the pick. I say get your quarterback and trade Justin Fields. And it's some bias in that. But I mean, Caleb Williams is a better pocket passer. I mean, we all love Justin Fields as a playmaker and what he can do with his legs and just bring to the game. But if you're looking to have a quarterback and you're going against Goff and Jordan Love in that division, man, you got to get your dude, man. You may want to say get your dude, Big G, but you don't think he's a dude.
No, I don't. I would build around Justin Fields. That's just my bias. I would build around Fields.
Well, I hear what you're saying, G, but listen to what Tate is saying. I mean, what he's saying is a lot of truth. These are people who are picking for their jobs, first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? If they pass on Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams is tearing the NFL up, just on fire, you know what I'm saying? Now you're looking at, hey, man, you got to get another job because they're like, you can't do it. You obviously don't know how to pick talent. So, I mean, I think the safer pick for and then here's the other thing. Let me not pass this. Justin Fields has had 3 years, so I mean, I think they're looking at that too. But I think you draft Caleb Williams and you have him in the quarterback room behind Justin Fields, and if he can't beat him out, then you lose Justin Fields for trade bait later. And honestly, you really can't afford. I mean, because I was thinking about them saying Marvin Harrison giving Justin Fields some weapons if they feel like they need to stay with Justin Fields and just give him some weapons. That would be nice, but or Malik Neighbors, but there's no way you pick Malik Neighbors over Marvin Harrison. You know what I'm saying? Marvin Harrison.
You could get both of them.
Marvin Harrison Jr. to me.
They could get both of them. They could end up. They could get Malik. They could flip picks with the Commanders, go to 2, get Marv at 2, and drop down to 9 and get Malik Neighbors or Blake Bowers. And if you give them Blake Bowers, Cole Kmet, Marvin Harrison Jr., DJ Moore with Justin Fields, you got issues in Chicago. You got issues. That's going to be hard to stop, man. But
don't you think you need to address the offensive line for Chicago as well? Do you address that in the offseason with free agents?
You could. And later rounds, they got a lot of picks. You could address it whenever. But Blake Bowers is a generational tight end. This dude is Travis Kelce 2.0. And faster. Marvin Harrison Jr., within 1 or 2 years, is going to be a top 10 receiver in the NFL. Come on, bro. That's a no-brainer. What
do you think? What do you think about that move, Tate? Picking up Harrison and then turning back, picking up Blake Bowers.
They ain't doing. I mean, if you getting Harrison, you trade back twice with the with the Commanders and with the Patriots. You trade back, let them get their quarterback, then you get more draft assets from trading back. Then you can get Marv at 3. And then, yeah, you could, but I don't think a tight end going that high.
At 9?
I don't think he's going at 9. I think he might go in the mid-teens. I don't think he's going at 9. I don't. But I think you're trying to get an offensive lineman with that 9th pick.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think the 3 main ones will be gone before then. So now you might be reaching, but that's just me.
Well, we haven't got to our mock drafts and really hadn't broke down players. And I know all 3 of us are going to really sit down on it. And I'm really looking forward to that draft show. But, man, let's go ahead and get to our parting shots, man. Let's go ahead and get to our parting shots while we're getting ready to get out of here, man. Talk to me, Tate. Parting shot.
Hey, man, I'm just looking forward to
and if you don't.
What was that?
Go ahead.
I'm just looking forward to the action, man. It's great jump off at this NBA trade deadline, man. It's gonna be some good action coming up, man. I'd like to see my Cavs do something. I think the Cavs are winners of 7 straight. They smashed the Hawks last night without
what I tell you, Tate. What I tell you. I told you in 2 weeks where they're gonna be sitting at. But go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think they might be 3rd in the East right now.
Yes, that's correct. That's exactly where they at.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the NBA trade deadline. I want to see if the Cavs gonna make any moves. I know the Lakers probably gonna try and make a move. I think they're trying to get DeJounte Murray in LA. So I'm just excited about that as we transition from more of a football base, talking points to getting into some basketball. I'm excited about spring training coming up. It's about 65 days away.
Yeah.
Getting ready for the big red machine Y2K. We're about to get it in. And we'll see what happens. And Ohio State football. And excited about seeing who Pittsburgh gets offensive coordinator. Hey man, it's fun to be a Tate sports fan.
You're forgetting about one that I know you're really concerned about. The Olympics is coming up real quick.
The Olympics is coming up, but that ain't till August, man. We still in January.
It's coming up. We gonna have no off season. Ain't gonna be no off season this year, man.
It's coming up in 24 for sure, man. So I'm rooting for that too. I don't know, my situation. I might not be able to go to Paris. My wife might go to Paris with her sister and Dennis and be there for part of the Olympics. So, I'm looking forward to all that, man.
Gavin said, I wonder how good the guards are going to be with the new skipper. Yeah, that's a question that you're going to have to see.
New skipper? What are we talking about?
The Guardians. I don't think nobody here is a fan of the Guardians.
I thought you talking about the guards for the Cavaliers. You talking about the Guardians? Yeah. Well, they got a good young team though.
Yeah.
And I'll probably root Reds first and Guardians second. My baseball affiliation stay Ohio, man. It was a time when I was a kid. It was a time as a kid I used to like the Pittsburgh Pirates because that's who my dad liked too. But my grandfather liked the Reds. So as I got older, I was, rocking with my grandfather a lot more than my dad liking the Pirates. So I went with the Reds and the Guardians just because they the home state team too, man. I called last year one time it's gonna be a Guardians Red World Series. I might have been a year too early. This might be the year for that.
You need to slow your roll.
Guardians used to be the Indians, right?
Yeah. You need to slow your roll about them Reds, buddy. Philadelphia, you got to come through Philadelphia first, bro. Make it through the Philly. Make it through the Phillies, and then we'll talk about it.
All right, G.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all,
G, give us your parting shot, brother.
Yeah, we appreciate all y'all rocking with us, man. Thank you for getting the algorithms up, keeping it lit all throughout the show. Make sure you check out the KnoItAllz podcast weekly on FFSN and on all your local podcast areas you can get. You can check it out on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Make sure you check out the KnoItAllz crew, man. The crew is actually growing. We've added guys in. We got the little fella, Relly Hall, that we've added in. We got Tim Lyons, that joined the KnoItAllz crew. And we might be adding one or two more pieces as we move forward. But we are across all platforms on Fans First Sports Network. And you can check them all on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and Facebook. We all have shows and stuff going on like there ain't no tomorrow. And you literally could check in with any one of the members of the KnoItAllz crew every day of the week and get a podcast from one of our members. When we come and do big time shows like the KnoItAllz and others, when we all come together, it's a great thing. But you can check a podcast literally daily from the KnoItAllz crew, man. But you know how I get out with my parting shots, man. I gotta say it. I'm gonna keep on saying it. Y'all might be mad and upset at me, man. But Shai over Luka, bro. Shai is out there balling. I just checked the MVP rankings today. If the MVP vote went down today, Shai would finish second behind the Joker for the MVP of the league. His team is in first place in the West. He is balling out of control. So I'm telling you, Shai ready to roll. I don't dislike Luka. I still will say he's trash. He's not a top 5 or 6 guy for me, but they hype him up like he's a top 5 or 6 guy. But Shai is a beast. So as we transition from football to basketball, you're going to hear me talking a lot about Shai, and you're going to hear me a lot talking about the Phoenix Suns and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
The Thunder is a game back behind the Timberwolves for first place in the West. Get your facts right, bro.
Their game back? So that must have happened last night. The Minnesota must have won, and OKC didn't play. But I think OKC played tonight, and with the dub tonight, they're going to be right back at them. OKC, that truth, bro. OKC is that truth. And like I said, if the MVP was handed out today, Joker would be number 1 and Shai would be number 2 if the MVP was handed out today. He's really playing that well. And I'll say this, Tate, when you said about the trade deadline, don't be shocked if OKC makes a trade to get an old wily veteran in there to make a push because they're ready to roll.
I see OKC trying to get Lauri Markkanen.
Facts.
Hold on, G. Slow your roll. Joel Embiid is number 1. Last week's rating, he was number 1. Jokic is number 2. And then Shai is number 3.
I'm looking at the same thing, Mod, and right behind Shai for 4th is Luka.
So what's that mean? Shai over Luka. That's what that means. Shai over Luka. Shai over Luka.
For this one thing, Big G, you right. Right now, not like he's a better player.
Yeah, he's a better player. Shai over Luka. He's better than him. He's better than him.
Yeah, but Embiid having like 35 and 12 with like 5 assists.
Embiid, boo-boo, dog. He peed down his leg every year. He peed down his leg every year. He the Dak Prescott of the NBA.
Joel Embiid is balling. 35 and 1, 11 rebounds, 6.1 assists per game.
And they're going out in the second round. They're going out in the second round.
Big G, you can say that. Don't have nothing to do with the MVP. And you can't say he boo-boo, man. You can say he chokes in the playoffs. He got to do it in the playoffs for me. But you just take these far extremes, man, and just make all your takes like not credible when you say stuff like that.
Bro, we play to win the game. If you get all this money, all this whatever.
Look what people say about your takes, man. Don't put them in the Matrix either.
This is a dude to stay in the Matrix, so I don't even want to, it don't even matter about what he's talking about. He lives in the Matrix. So, but I ain't with all them dudes hyping people up about fake and false puffy numbers. That stuff don't mean nothing. You play to win chips and MVP.
What has Shai ever done, man? What has Shai ever done?
He about to do it. He about to do it.
Maybe Embiid about to do it.
What Luka done done?
Luka have been to the playoffs, won a couple series. I know he put Kawhi and Paul George out one year by himself.
We'll see this year.
By his dangy.
We'll see this year. Because like I'm telling you, Shai is the truth, bro.
You put him on this guy that ain't never really done nothing in the playoffs. He went to the playoffs that one year, was it in the bubble where Chris Paul was leading them? You know, Chris Paul really likes
Yeah.
highly of him, but he ain't done in the playoffs, Big G. They not gonna do. I believe more in Dallas in the playoffs not doing Oklahoma City.
Never. Dallas might not even make it.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. We'll definitely see. I like to on my parting shots, man. I like to thank my co-host. You know, B Dirt he said it, a little bit, and he definitely said it, being facetious, or because we were talking about playing Madden, and I could say this, man. Look, these guys work really hard. They work really hard. Tate and G are on 75 podcasts. I don't know how they do it. I mean, real talk. I'm not gonna say that G's takes are just all the way thorough on all of them, but hey, he's doing them, and he's showing up and showing out on all of the podcasts. And I just want to salute these boys, man. As we're going higher and we're doing more, we want y'all to keep being here with us, man. We're gonna make sure that we do our homework. We're gonna have, the chemistry that we got. We're gonna continue to keep putting that on Front Street, because definitely we love being here on these Sundays, talking football with you guys, and talking basketball, and just talking sports overall. You're going to get back to getting some guests on the show and really getting some people in, and we're going to talk, man. If you haven't seen some of the shows that we've done with guests, there's been some awesome guests. We're only looking to go further, higher. We say this every show. Make sure that you share. Make sure that you, definitely tell somebody about the podcast. There are new people getting on. We're actually, linking up with other podcasts that are doing, different content, just kind of putting it out here. So if you saw that, like the Dallas Cowboy podcast that we did, where we linked up with a big Cowboy creator, definitely we want to do that more often. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure, because we're not an exclusive island, and we love just hearing everybody else's point of view. You saw how we did it for the draft last year. We're going to do it even bigger this year. We're going to do it big for the draft. Try to get my brother down here for a birthday. So since that didn't work, I might just get with him for the draft, so that way we'll be in the same place and kind of going through the draft. But we said this year we were going to definitely get in the same place. We want that to happen for real. And as we're growing the KnoItAllz fan base, and we're growing, the KnoItAllz brand, we just want y'all to be right here and have a front seat, man. So everybody who's here in the chat.
Touchdown Chiefs, Kelsey, killed them.
Okay, all right.
Touchdown Chiefs.
After said she's still laughing, thinking of G after the draft, buried in signs. Yeah, he goes sign crazy during the draft. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. Literally, it was a good draft, and we called good money.
Yeah, I've been in the lab already, bro.
We called good money on the draft.
A lot of film.
But we called good money on the draft. So we called good money. We definitely did. But yeah, if you guys don't have nothing else, man, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up in the bow, man. We out of here. Tate, you got something?
I'm raising my hand. Can I be called on?
Absolutely.
You said you gonna appreciate me and G. You gonna salute me and G. Are you going both ways with your salute, or how you doing your salute?
No. Double salute.
Double salute. Okay.
Double salute. You know what I'm saying? From the same side.
Hey, G. When January over with Big G, I'm gonna let it go. But I gotta go through January with it.
Every time you say it, I'm putting this sign up from now on.
It don't mean
every time.
It don't mean that you didn't say it. They're gonna be Dirt. No, be Dirt. No, what's up?
No.
He said G got a sweatshop for signs.
Oh my God.
I got everybody working overtime over here to get these signs together, bro.
Have Shonda made a sign?
No, she's got some ideas though. She's a busy person. We all are busy, that's why. But I'm appreciative of my family, and anybody that wants to sit down and just do it. Hey man, I'm appreciative of it, man. I'm appreciative. Hey, the fans, the people that watch the show, you can inbox me and email me. And if you want to do a sign, send it to me. I promise you I'll show it on air. I promise you. If you do a sign, And all you got to do is inbox me your address and send it to me. I promise you I will show it on air. I promise you I will.
Why don't you have a sign design contest, man?
Could add that.
That's a big one.
Could add it.
Have people inbox you some different designs and we show them on here and then we vote for them.
Yep. Absolutely. So, hey, we might set that up and do that for a prequel next week. That way I can put it out there to be able to spread my email information and spread my inbox information. So next week, look for that as part of the show. That we're going to do a sign off and see if people will send me signs and we figure out which was the best one.
Great idea, Tate.
I love the idea of a sign off.
Great idea.
That was a good idea, Tate.
You don't got to tell me, man. I tell myself my idea is good.
Since you want the pat on the back, we're gonna go ahead.
I don't need y'all pat on the back. Don't touch me. Either one of you touch me, I'm touching you with these hands.
Wait a minute. Pause. Okay. All right.
I said these hands. You know what that means? There ain't no confusing that.
Listen.
You still talking. You see, Big G ain't said nothing. Big G.
I ain't got to respond to shenanigans, bro. I already know. I done told you already. Don't make me come to DC because, bro, you better lock that. You better catch me on the ring camera because I'm telling you right now, you don't catch me on the ring camera, it's adios muchachos for you, dog. You better catch me on that ring camera. You better catch me because if I make it through the door, somebody in trouble, and it ain't me.
Thank you, Claude. You hear that, Big G? Claude said
Tate has spoken. I think I will say I think I like the sign idea. That is a really good idea. Because I think it would just be a great idea. It would be great for the show. It would be great for the people out there. So they have a sign off and we'll vote on your sign. Definitely.
What would your next sign be, Big G? What was you working on? What do you think about doing? Because you got to tell people that, or you want them to come up with their own idea.
Yeah, I want them to come up with their own. idea.
Come up with your own idea.
Yeah, okay. Because I got some in the chamber right now. I got 7 of them in the chamber. But I want to see what other people what they think would actually make sense. Because 90% of the signs that I use are stuff that we say all the time. That's why I say that. That's why we have the signs. So that way I don't have to regurgitate always the same thing. People know what it means. So it makes a lot of sense for us to have a sign off with the people that watch us, and we'd appreciate anybody doing that. I'm probably going to promote it on every platform I'm on over the next 7 to 14 days.
All right. Well, you guys, man, I had a great time. We finna get out of here so everybody else can watch the rest of the game. We thank you guys for watching. We out of here, man. We'll talk to you later. Peace.